I want to tell you a snippet about the Mitch Daniels Leadership Foundation. It was created a year ago to memorialize the historic leadership of Governor Mitch Daniels, not just the achievements of that era, which are truly extraordinary, but more the driving spirit of his service as our governor. The core activity of the Mitch Daniels Leadership Foundation is to every other year select a recipient of the Daniels Prize. And that prize goes to someone who has characterized that transcendent spirit. So to start us off with a few remarks on leadership, Tim Solso, the first Daniels Prize winner.
Community service is the best laboratory for leadership development that I know. And anytime I've been involved in community service or I've seen other people, they get more out of it than actually the service that they provide.
He has boundless hope. He certainly embodies the optimism that you heard Tim talk about a second ago. And he's doing today what most people in the education establishment said can't be done.
Good afternoon. Yeah, I'm from this black church tradition of call and response. When I say good afternoon, you have to give the love back. Good afternoon. Thank you, thank you. I graduated from Yale University, graduated from Harvard Law School, and have been able to devote the last 21 years of my profession to my life's calling, which is serving children and serving others. I don't stand here if it weren't for my social worker who decided direct service was the way to make a difference in their lives. I don't stand here if it weren't for my parents who, after having 7 natural children born to my mom and dad, decided that they could care for and raise another. And I don't stand here if it weren't for philanthropists who decided to go out and make a whole bunch of money, but then turn around and give it to good causes. So I encourage you to live a life beyond yourself and that's giving and contributing to others.
Thank you for this opportunity to be back at Hoosier Boys State. I'll have a few words to say about that when we wrap up. But for now, let me congratulate you on the records you've achieved that have brought you to this very special place. I hope you'll take full advantage of your week together here. I promise you it's a week that you'll remember long from now, more than almost any other such experience you may have. In your careers, you will have encountered a number of occasions in which living up to the character which you correctly identified as the central prerequisite of leadership brought you to a tough decision.
Is that rather than fight the EPA, we decided that we would lead industry in designing and building engines that met the environmental standards. And the result is that in 2010, we were the only engine manufacturer to be able to meet the standards, and we increased our market share from 20 to 40%.
I think my toughest choice was actually my first choice. And so, as I said, I came out of law school. I had an offer to go to a San Francisco law firm, $150,000 a year, starting salary, which in '93 still is, but it was a real good salary in '93. And I chose not to do that because I felt like my calling, my purpose in life was education.
Now, how about a question or two?
My question's for Tim. I was curious to your selection process on your Mitch Daniels Award money.
I didn't know anybody else that was getting as much done and changing, having an impact and changing kind of the world one student at a time. And Earl came recommended to me by the Mind Trust and other people who are knowledgeable about educational trends.
My question is, what motivates you and what drives you to be better, to become better?
You know, I can go back to my father, to be very direct, and he had very high standards for my brother and me, and had very high expectations. And by having those standards and expectations early in my life, I think that I was driven to do well.
One of the simplest truths I think of leadership, I heard Ronald Reagan say it first, that some people, their motivation, some people seek leadership to be something, but the best seek leadership to do something.
Is there anyone in particular or anything that has inspired you on your journey?
Yeah, I mean, I think two things. I think one is just my personal story and understanding that if not for others caring about me, there's no chance that I stand here.
This world belongs to those who will move and experiment and innovate and try things, knowing that if you act that way, some of them will be misfires. Fine. Admit the mistake. Accept the criticism, like Tim said, and then get it right the second time. But that's the fondest hope of those of us who worked on your behalf over the last decade, that maybe we turned a corner, that maybe Hoosiers got used to the idea that maybe we'd be best, maybe we'd be leaders, maybe we'd be first, and that would become the expectation. Now, I don't know. It'll only happen if those who come on in leadership positions have that same sense of purpose and same determination to say that we're not going to settle for middle of the pack. I hope that's the way you look at things. The fact that you're here says somebody thinks you've got that potential. And having met a bunch of you, I'm pretty sure you do. Thank you for having us. Leave here and go be great leaders.
I think it inspired a lot of Boy Staters here to see a past Boy Stater end up as a former governor. It really kind of tells us the potential we have to be successful in this world. His key points on leadership were really influential, and I think overall it has just inspired us to aspire to be more. And I think that's great for everyone here at Hoosier Boys State. We really want to represent our state strong.
Oh, that was really cool.
Oh, well, I'm a huge Purdue fan, so I was excited in the first place. So I was really excited for that. I personally enjoyed it a lot.
I was more excited that he was a governor because I'm an IU fan, so.
Yeah, we butt heads a little.
An honor to have a governor of his stature come and speak with us, and just to know that how many people are really involved in Hoosier Boys State. It's just an honor to be here.
The Mitch Daniels event was a great event. It was a great talk. Learned a lot about leadership. Mitch Daniels is probably one of the political figures I respect the most, so it was awesome to have him speak. I was definitely a big fan of what he had to say. I was a little disappointed he didn't speak on policy issues, but he definitely made up for it in how he told us basically how to lead and how he led, and how to be a great leader.